Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog style reading wrap up for the month of June. I didn't really like how last month's turned out, so I'm going to try again this month and see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out, we'll just go back to the standard type of wrap ups. But today is Tuesday, June 18th. It's super early in the morning, which is why I have no makeup or anything on, but I'm taking advantage of Wyatt not being awake to tell you that I did finish a book last night, and it was Walking with Fear by Brianna Remus. This is a debut author, and I was sent her book. I was sent an ARC for review. This is a nonfiction book talking about overcoming fear and anxiety, and that really spoke to me personally because that is something that I definitely struggle with. And I found this book so incredibly empowering. So Brianna is a YouTuber. She has both a booktube channel and a beauty channel, and I can link both of those down below, and I've been following her for quite a while. And she has multiple degrees in psychology. Through this book, she talks about both her personal life experiences and her anxiety and fears, and also combines that with her education and experience in psychology. And I really liked that both of those were in it. It made it more relatable but also helpful, if that makes sense. I also really enjoyed the formatting of this book. So she opens up each chapter with a story and how maybe that caused her anxiety or fear, and then what she did to overcome it. But then there's some take-home points, like really brief, easy to digest, and easy to remember points of what you should have gained from the story. Sorry, I still have morning voice. Then she gives you action items, kind of like a little workbook to help you work through your own fears. And then she always has a quote to end each chapter, and I really liked all of those. I did give this book 4 stars. The reason it wasn't 5 stars for me, which is totally a personal thing, but I definitely try and review books based on how well they're written, but also my enjoyment level. I like to try and combine the two, so I did give this 4 stars. And the reason it's not a 5-star for me was because as I was reading through Brianna's stories and feeling her anxiety and fear that came from those experiences, I am a very empathetic person, and I found myself feeling her anxiety and fear. But also this book was helpful for dissecting and working through my own. So while it was helping me with my anxiety, her anxiety was also giving me anxiety. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's definitely a personal thing, and that won't happen for everyone. And that also speaks to how well her stories were written, because she wrote her experiences in such a way that I was feeling what she was feeling. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I will have it linked down below. I think it's definitely on Amazon. If you struggle with anxiety or fear, I would definitely check it out. It's only 135 pages, so it's not very big. I found it easy to work through. I read about a chapter or two at a time just because there were action items and stuff. I didn't want to just binge read through the whole thing and miss out on a large chunk of the book, which is working through your own anxiety. I will see you guys the next time I finish a book. Hey guys, it is June 27th, and I think this is only the second book that I've finished this month. Oh, you are crooked. Not impressive. I'm almost finished with, I think, 2 or 3 others. There's just the tail bit, and I had to return a few of those to the library. It's been a rough month, but today I did finish Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno for the Summertime Reads Readathon. This is the group book. It also works for 4 of the challenges for me. This is based on an island off the coast of New England. It has water on the cover, yellow on the cover, and is the group book. So I only have a short read left to complete all of the challenges, and that readathon ends at the end of this month. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. It didn't quite have that 5-star feeling for me, but I did really, really enjoy it. It is a magical realism type of book. There's a female-female romance. They live on a small island, and there's a family that all have, the women in the family, sorry, all have magical abilities. And there's like a crime to solve, that sort of thing. I will say there was one topic that I wish was expanded on more, and that was their father. And I don't want to spoil as to why, but the realization at the very end of the book, I think it's like the last couple of pages, when she goes to visit her father passed. That's like at the very beginning of the book. But at the end, she has like a self-discovery and then revisits his grave. And her realization in that moment, I wish the book didn't really end right there, because I feel like that should have been expanded on a lot more. That is like, that was a lot. I don't want to spoil it, but it was a lot. I will say there is a trigger warning for sexual violence in this book as well, but the way it was handled was so beautiful. I want to read a little bit for you. On page 235, it says, "As if out of a fairy tale, nobody asked, what was my sister wearing the night she was raped? How much had my sister had to drink the night she was raped? How many guys had my sister previously had sex with?" Because again, out of a fairy tale, they realized that none of those things mattered. And that was to do with the trial for the sexual assault that happens in this book. And I thought that was so powerful, and I've never read a book that included it in such like blatant terminology, like how it is to be a woman and stand trial for something like that, where the woman gets a lot of blame. And I really, really loved that aspect of this book. So I'm super happy to have read it. It's pretty short. I think it has about 250 pages. And I'm excited to pick up my next read for the Summertime Reads Readathon, and I'll check in with you after I finish that one. Welcome back for the final check-in for my June wrap-up. Kids are coming in. Please close the door. The third and final book that I read in the month of June was the 3rd volume of Hori Mia. This is a manga series, I believe, or is it a graphic novel series? Must be a manga. I am not very cultured on these types of things. I picked these up on Books with Chloe's recommendation, and I just picked them up when I either need a short read to fill a readathon prompt or just something really quick and lighthearted. I gave this book 3 stars. It's cute, they're easy to read, but they're kind of filler books for me, not books that I pick up because I know that I will thoroughly enjoy them, if that makes sense. The 2 main characters, Hori and Mia, are super naive. They're high school students, and even their fellow students are not as naive and young seeming as they do, and I find it kind of frustrating, but I can't. At first, I just thought it was a bit of a cultural difference, but especially in this book, you realize that the other students at the school are not, they don't read as young as our 2 main characters do. Even Hori's younger brother seems like more, not more mature. I don't know how to explain it, but they're just, yeah, they just read very young. It's like, oh, he said he likes me, oh my gosh. And even the little brother, who's like significantly younger, is like, I'm gonna give them some alone time. And so yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue with this. If I see it available at the library and I need, this was for a reading prompt of read something that's less than 200 pages, and this is 175. That's why I picked it up. If I need something like that again, I'll pick up the fourth one, but I think there's going to be 15 volumes and I just don't care enough to read all 15 if I'm honest. So that was the third and final book that I was able to read in June. July and August are going to be heavy reading months, hopefully, fingers crossed, because we have the Book Junkie trials and then the Newts. So to wrap things up, I read Walking with Fear, which is a nonfiction. I received that as an ARC to review. I really did enjoy that, and if you suffer with fear and anxiety, I would definitely recommend that. That came out on July 1st on Amazon. I will try and have that linked down below. I also read Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno for the Summertime Reads Readathon, and I really did enjoy this. I felt it was a little slow to get started, but you guys would have just seen my review for that, even though I filmed that a little while ago. And then thirdly, Horimiya, a young adult manga. So wasn't a great reading month yet again, only 3 books, but hopefully I can make up for it this summer, and I'm really excited to share my wrap-ups with you going forward. That's it for me today. If you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!